Hi, my name is Jeff Seplik. I live in Harrison, Ohio. I found PrimeDriven through a Facebook ad. Back when I used the service, I used to spend a lot of time looking through Marketplace for used cars. And then Facebook do what Facebook does. I started seeing ads for car giveaways. Entered a competitor one first, and then eventually I had to take a guess at what my first one was. It was probably either an STI or an Evo. And when I got the text for winning this contest, and I had that little screenshot of my entry, said this was my 79th entry. So I've been here for a little bit. Um, Probably entered a few more than I should have, but definitely glad that I kept at it, and I'm here now making this video. The reason why I entered this contest specifically is because, I mean, it's Corvette. Can't really go wrong with the Corvette. I mean, V8 rear wheel drive. It's the iconic American muscle car. So that's what drew me to this one specifically. The reason I keep coming back to PrimeDriven is the super short giveaways and the small number of odds that you're going up against. I mean, I'd rather wait a couple days against a couple thousand entries to find out if I won versus waiting weeks, months against hundreds of thousands of entries. So that's definitely the reason why I keep coming back. I mean, you can't really beat the number of entries that you guys limit it to, as well as the super short amount of time that you have to wait from entry to end of contest. I can't really narrow it down to any one thing that kind of started the love of cars, but of course, I played with Hot Wheels when I was a little kid, and then as a teenager, played Need for Speed and things like that. And as I got older, started once I was able to finally drive, started getting into car audio and mini trucks and things like that. Went down to mini truck nationals one year down in Pigeon Forge, and then of course, as I got older, Fast and the Furious movies started introducing more of the JDM stuff. I happened to have a friend that worked at a Subaru dealership, and gave her a call one day, and I said, "Hey, do you happen to have anything used on your lot with a turbo?" And she said, "Yeah, I have two STIs here right now." So went up and test drove, and that kind of got me into the first kind of all-wheel drive turbo platform. And had to sell that when my son was born, and got a legacy. Had instant regret, and spent quite a few years searching for another 2011 STI. Happened to find one up in Chicago, went up and bought it, and had that ever since. And then, of course, for this giveaway specifically, like I said, I mean, it's a Corvette. It's iconic car. You can't really go wrong with it. Can't go wrong with the sound. And like I said, this will be my first V8, first rear wheel drive. So definitely going to be a new experience for me. I would definitely say I was in a bit of shock when I first got the first text. I didn't know exactly if it was real or kind of it came from the same number that the giveaway notifications come from. So I was like, oh, okay, this might be legit, but still was kind of skeptical. Then got the email, got the information that with what I ordered, the entry number, what giveaway was, all that, and then got a text from a different number from Eric and said, "Hey, can I give you a call in about 10-15 minutes?" That's when it started sinking in that, oh, I just want a car. Like this is actually happening. I had the phone call with Eric. Uh, Probably won't sink in for good until the car gets here and I can actually get in and drive it and see that it's 100% real and all that. But definitely the first about half an hour was kind of state of shock. I texted my girlfriend Jenny and I was like, I think I just want a Corvette. Because she always gives me a bunch of grief with when the packages show up from from all the different car entries that I've ordered and all the different things that I've bought, and she's like, oh, there's no way any of those things are real. And now here I am, and it's definitely real. Initial victory lap might be a little boring because it's going to be that first drive down to the DMV. get it registered, and all that legal stuff that goes on. Um, After that, I like I said, I'd probably take my girlfriend Jenny for a ride first, then take my son for a ride, go over and show my parents the car and things like that. Like I mentioned before, this will be my first V8, first rear wheel drive. So definitely going to take a little bit of time, just kind of getting used to the car, seeing what it does, handles, things like that. And I know eventually, probably down the line, we'll modify it a little bit. Nothing too crazy. I have the STI that's my daily driver, so this will definitely be more of a weekend car. Definitely, came at the right time. They always say it's midlife crisis car, so definitely showed up at the right time for me. So I'm just gonna take the time, enjoy the car, and just whatever it guides me to do, that's what we'll end up doing with it. I would definitely say, just to take a chance. You never know what's going to happen. Uh, I never really thought that I would be here, and I can definitely tell now that it is real, it is legit, and I wouldn't be here if I hadn't taken that chance and you know went on and took all those other chances. So, and then in the future, I'll probably take more chances. There are still some cars that I would like to own. The GTR that just went through, that would be one of them. So if I see any more GTRs, I'll definitely still get in there. Uh, Still partial to the Hawkeye STI, so if I see any more of those come through, I'll still enter those. Still enter the Evos. It's just you can't really win if you don't play. So definitely, glad that I made that choice, and I stuck with it, and you know, I'll continue to do so in the future. And if you're on the fence, I mean, all you gotta do is take a chance. This is, like I said, this one's probably the best one that I found, and that's the reason why I stick with it. Uh, Super short, super low amount of entries, so can't really beat it. I would definitely like to say thank you to PrimeDriven. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to win the Corvette, and to have all these giveaways and to keep at it, and definitely sticking with the, like I said, kind of the theme all along is the super short giveaways, best odds, keeping it like that, and just the wide variety of things that you guys also give away. I mean, it kind of spans all interests. You don't stick to just kind of one area of cars. There's, like I said, there's JDM, there's American Muscle, there's trucks, there's some things I've never heard of before. So kind of introduced me to some new cars that I've never seen, and definitely some odd things out there as well. So definitely enjoy seeing all the contests as they come through, and definitely will take the time to enjoy this one, and keep entering in the future and go from there. So definitely just a huge thank you to PrimeDriven for doing what you guys do and giving me the opportunity to have a car that I never thought I would have the chance to get.